is the March 6th, 2024 meeting of the Acushnet Public Library Board of Trustees. We are being audio taped and videotaped, and we do have a quorum. Our first item of business on the agenda today is the Secretary's report from February 13th. Does anyone have any clarifications? I think it's actually February 14th. I think that should be February 14th. Does anyone have any clarifications or questions about those minutes at all? If not, we just need a motion.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Next item is the budget.
We just passed, we're 67% through FY24, so it's getting close to the beginning of a new FY. Just a couple of quick notes. So we received our energy bill for January at the new rate. So compared to last January, it was $1,198, and this January is $1,796. So a little bit less than double, but that is due to the increase of rate of the wattage. Regarding salaries, we are close to 67% spent. There is some room there for hopefully a meeting in the summer, and we do have a lot of vacations coming up, so I'm going to need to see if I can find extra shifts for staff members so that way we have coverage at the desk. And then for operating, pretty much the same except material. So we received a few orders, and I still have 4 invoices that I need to process. So once those get processed and sent to town hall, we'll be at 50% for spending our material. And material is an ongoing an ongoing line that it just keeps coming in and in and in. So don't let the 50% fool you. And that's pretty much it for budget. Any questions regarding the budget?
I noticed that the
Yes.
line item for energy was up like $500, substantial. Has your kilowatt usage been the same?
You know what? I didn't look at that.
I'm just curious.
I know it went double, so from 9 cents to 17.
Okay.
But I will check on that to see what the wattage was from
Okay.
23 to 24.
Just so people don't get the impression that
Mhm.
they're leaving windows open in the middle of winter.
No.
I think it's that new rate. I think it's mostly due to that new rate that they've been talking
Yes.
about.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't hurt to look at
Yes,
to
I'll see what the wattage was.
is, just so we can kind of get an
Mhm.
idea. So you said that last year it was 1,198, and then this year it was 1,796.
Mhm.
So like $600 or so, roughly.
Mhm.
Okay. Which, if it's the same wattage, and then figure an additional $600 a month every
Yeah,
time.
the same kilowatt
But it
usage.
would depend on our heat too, because our heat's electric, so it
Yes.
depends
Right.
on how
Yes,
the whole
and-
thing's been.
These 3 months, so December, January, February are the most, we use the most energy. But I did not
But the
look
weather
at
has a lot to do with
Yes.
not necessarily
Yes.
lights on.
No, it's the
Right.
weather. It's
Right.
our lights, they're on a sensor, so if there's no movement in a certain area of the building, they will shut off.
And they're all LEDs, aren't they?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else have any questions about the budget? Okay, we need a motion.
Will be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Old business, an update on the town's camera installation project.
So immediately after our last meeting, I contacted Nick, and we had someone in here on Friday, February 23rd to install, to start the installation of the cameras. So wires were run from the basement all the way up, so that we could have, the cameras installed outside. And then, so it takes a lot of time, and he was in the attic, and a lot of work, so it wasn't completed that day. So then on March 1st, Lucas came back to continue working on the cameras. So they are physically outside, they're physically on the buildings, on the building, and this Friday, he will be back to complete the setup. It's been, no complaints. It was a very smooth process. Not really doing much except showing the access space for the attic. So we hope to have that done by Friday, or on Friday. Any questions about the cameras?
I assume that they'll be contacting the police department to make sure they work.
Yes, I will.
That's what I assume.
Yes, I mean, we won't have access to them.
No, it's
Yeah.
outside, but I'm assuming that once he finishes,
Yes.
they'll
Yep.
double check to make sure that
And
they're
I will
all
confirm that with Nick before he leaves.
perfect. Sounds good. Anyone have any questions about the cameras?
Nope.
Okay. Moving on to new business, the plan to replace the pipes leading into the septic tank.
Per our last email, we had a suggestion that we contacted DPW. So on February 26th, I emailed the DPW, so I emailed Dan, regarding our plumbing situation. I asked if there was anything we could put in the septic tank that would dissolve toilet paper quicker, and I also submitted the invoice that had a detailed description of what was found during our last clog. So they ran a camera through it, and Dan looked at it, and I received a email and a phone call that day with a plan. So the plan that the DPW came up with is to replace the pipes that are coming out of the building into the septic tank. Those pipes are very old. What DPW will do is cut into the parking spaces, so a couple of parking spaces will be occupied for at least 4 days. Once the pipes are laid, then on the following month, so this would be done on a Friday, March 8th, and then that following Monday, they would come in and repave the dug up ground. So what that means for the library is that we would have to pay for material and the pavement. So we were quoted $1,500. Labor is done by DPW, so we do not have to worry about that. So what I am asking the trustees is to approve the $1,500 to be taken out of the stock gift account. This work would be done on this Friday, that's why we are here earlier, and I appreciate everyone adjusting their schedules, but I feel like this desperately needs to be done because we can't be having this clogging issue constantly. It's costly, and with this, hopefully it will nip it in the bud. Regarding the work, I was told that we will have plumbing, so we don't open till 1 on Friday. So what they plan on doing is one pipe at a time, so close one bathroom and leave the other one open and vice versa. Traffic will not be blocked in the parking lot behind us, so it will flow freely, just parking spots. But we have plenty of parking spots, and then we don't have any events that day, so we don't have to worry about that. And I asked about the weather. They said they could definitely do the work. And I just need the board to vote on approving us using the funds from the stock gift account.
That $1,500,
Yes.
is that a firm number?
Approximately, that's what I have. So we
Do we
could,
wanna give, we could approve 1,500, but my thought is if it goes a little higher,
Right.
Good
should we
idea.
not to exceed 2,000?
Right, just in case it comes in a little bit higher, then we
Yeah.
won't have to come
Okay.
back and meet for it. I agree.
okay.
I definitely agree.
Motion to approve not to exceed $2,000 for the new pipes to the septic.
Yep, that sounds
Second.
good. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
Nancy, was that you?
Okay, next on new business, we have the task list, boy, that's a tough one, regarding upkeep projects.
A few meetings ago with the town administrator, he mentioned to me that if I could put together a list of projects for the maintenance worker, town maintenance worker Dave. So this is what this is. It's not anything solid, it's just things that I feel need to be done in the library. And some of this I have already discussed with Dave. We do not need to vote on this, I just want everyone to look at it to see if there's anything we should add to it. And, you know, things pop up constantly, so, I just want the trustees to be aware of this. I mean, none of this is happening next week or the following week, it's just, things that are, need to be worked on, hopefully when the weather is a little bit nicer. Anyone have any questions about what's on here?
No.
Are you planning to do a bike rack too in the front? Or was that something that was discussed?
It hasn't been discussed, I mean, not
Do we have one?
We have one in the back,
You have it in the back, okay.
but it is needed though, in the front.
What about the sign in the front?
So we have two
Isn't there
signs, the
one
hour
name?
signs and so the
The big
one,
one?
the big one, the big beautiful one.
It's a tourist attraction.
So I have, it needs to be
John sign.
reset, so I don't know if that's something that Dave, and he does have Old Colony work, students come in. I don't know if that's something that can be done by them, but it does need to be looked at, cause it is,
Maybe that should be added.
I have it on the
It's
bottom.
on the bottom.
It's on the bottom.
Oh,
I should have.
Straight and street sign,
oh,
that's the,
street sign.
I didn't know-
didn't know what you were talking about.
yeah, that's the big beautiful
I don't
sign.
Yeah, okay, that's
I
it.
could have called it, because we have the street, we have that sign and we have the hour sign. The hour sign right now, last week the
Yeah,
tape, the hours blew off, so I put it back on and it looks like it's gonna blow off again. So that one is, I've spoken to the friends and there might be some interest in replacing it altogether. But in the meantime, I think it could be repainted and added, you know, to have numbers, to have letters and numbers added to it, but that's in the work, but it's on my radar, it's something that, you know, once again, when the weather gets, a little bit nicer. But that sign is solid, it's not leaning, it's just, you know, it faces south, so the sun heats on it.
Right, I think you've got a good a comprehensive list here.
Okay.
Is there anything that anybody else can think of to add to the list, or?
Like I said, it's ongoing, so when things pop up, and I'm sure once it gets warmer, we'll have other items,
Yep.
because of the salt on the ground and, you know.
Now
Sounds
that
good.
March is here, I'll do it this week, I'll contact Roche Brothers.
Okay,
Okay.
Get that started
Okay.
initiative.
Yep, at least the conversations anyway,
Yeah, yeah,
so
that
to
way
get
they can plug
going.
in. In the future, if you want, I don't have a problem, I can walk around with you and we can look for things.
okay,
And then
okay,
make a list, generate a list, that way at least you'll know exactly what's in front of you.
yes,
There's one of the old doors the other day, I noticed that the threshold pitches in towards the building, which acts like a gutter pulling water, not away from the building, but
okay,
towards it.
so that would need
So
to be.
before that starts to cause rot,
Right, right. Yeah, we saw that when we were looking at the
Yeah.
awning, yeah.
that's something that probably should get addressed
Okay.
sooner than later.
Okay,
But if some afternoon or morning,
okay,
I can come by and we can walk
perfect,
around.
that would be, that would be really.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you. All right, moving on to the director's report.
So I do apologize for not having the statistics out. They weren't out completed by sales yet, so we are lacking that sheet today. I do have great news. The sales app is back. So as of March 1st, it came back.
Just
Yes,
miraculously.
they worked it out with.
Time for Easter.
Right?
They worked it out with Cersei Dynex, and it's beyond my comprehension on what
I'm gonna go
happened.
check that out right after
It's
this meeting.
it's working.
Doing
It's
recess,
fully
please.
functional. You can download it. If you deleted it, I deleted mine. Is
Oh, thank
no
God.
point. You can get it on Apple Store and
Yeah.
Google Play, and it's working. So
And we can not gonna look into a new app that
they are, but
this works for now.
it's right now. This is this was the solution.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on at sales, so they're looking into other vectors.
Okay.
But right now we have our old app back, so that's great. Which is you can see the amount of holds we receive has increased just by having that app back.
It was so convenient.
Yeah,
convenient.
I'm
It's
telling
so
you, yes.
convenient.
And you get used to it. And
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
It
you
got
know,
harder to look for books.
it was, because if you're using the web browser to search and
Yeah.
to place holds, it's a little bit more
A little bit
confusing on a
different,
phone as opposed to a computer. So I'm telling you, it was because of the app, our holds are starting to come back up again, and you know, we have a little bit more bins than usual, and like, it's the app.
Mm-hmm.
So we're so
Oh, that's
grateful
great.
that is back, it's functioning, knock on wood, it's been 5 days and we haven't had any issues with it, so.
Fantastic.
Yes, just some quick things that have been done in the library. So Jonathan, our Tech 2, has shifted our adult collection and made new location signs on the shelves. So things are just slightly different places, but everything is shifted and neatly into, everything has a display on its shelf, and everything is almost uniformed. But it's always impossible to have it, or like 100% uniform. And then in the children's room, I have a few items that Ren has done. So in the nonfiction area, Ren made some subject markers. So they're just little flags that just have the subject of what you're looking at. So it's a little bit easier to browse. And then this has been going on for a few months. So we had Ren relabel series in the children's room. So the call numbers now will read the series and the author and the number. Some of them did not have the number of what it was, so it's much easier to find things. But this is an ongoing project because some items are currently checked out. So relabeling has been a big thing here for a few months. If you walked in the front door in the past 5 months, you might have noticed our polls. So we have a poll every month that Ren puts together, and we have patrons, big and small, vote on something. This month is, are you a pink peep or a chick peep or yellow peep? So we have 2 boards. People put their little icon with their name on it, and we have people, little ones come in and they want to know what was the result of last month's, and it's just something fun. And it's going to be a permanent fixture there. Right now, Ren also created something that has what the results were for last month. This Monday, we also added a new display in the children's room. So there is a vine going up the closet door, and right now the theme is, what's your favorite book title? So you go take a leaf, put your name on it, put the title on it, and put your name if you like, and you stick it on there. So our goal is to have a beautiful vine there. And then that will change, and it will go with the summer reading theme, but we won't go into summer right now. So that's it for the children's room. And then just some announcements. So our PJ collection, we are collecting till the end of the month for Cradle to Crayons. We just had pajama story time this morning, and we had a few more sets come in. This next Tuesday, March 12th at 5:30, we have something brand new here. We have Sewing 101. We are hand sewing cord keepers. So they're just a piece of rectangle fabric that you can wrap around like your phone charger. And this was a request of a patron. Ren put this together, and this is for ages 16 and up, so you can call us or stop in and we can sign you up. We have a bunch of fabric, thread, and Velcro, so it will be fun. And then that following that Wednesday, March 13th, we have John Waterman, who is a musician, and they will be doing a journey through the roots of American popular music, and that will be at 6 o'clock. And then something else that's brand new here, Ren is doing catapeeps. So what that is you are building catapults to launch peeps into and some engineering required. So you use it.
Messy than pumpkins.
We won't do that in here. So it will the materials will be popsicle sticks and elastics. And that is also something that you can sign up for, and that's for ages 7 and up, and that's Wednesday, March 20th at 4 p.m. So I'm excited to see those peeps flying in this room. And then lastly, our finale to Bookopoly is on March 30th from 1 to 2. And once again, Ren will be putting together board game trivia to go with the theme of Bookopoly, Monopoly, board games. I hope to have snacks too for that.
So that must be mostly adults, or is that a day off from school?
Which one?
That's Good Friday, I think. Oh, the 30th? Oh, no.
That's a
it's not.
Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
Saturday. Yep.
29th was the,
Yes, we
Good
are
Friday.
and we are closed on Good Friday, so March 30th.
Okay.
March 29th.
March 29th.
Yes, which I forgot that. And that's it for announcements and the reports. Any questions?
How many people are doing Bookopoly? I still haven't talked about it.
I don't have a.
Going strong, Jerry, going strong. Good job.
Last week everyone's gonna cover it. I would say we have at least 70,
Wow.
but I can
that's
double check. I haven't looked recently. I haven't looked this month.
good.
So.
Sometimes it's a bit of a challenge to find.
It is. It is. I
I've
think.
had 3 things with animals. I'm struggling, but I'm still doing it.
I think if we do this next year, it would need to be modified a little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
it
it is
It's
difficult.
making,
Yes.
it's making me read things that I wouldn't have, maybe.
Yes.
Kudos to you and your staff for everything you do.
Thank you.
I come in here various times in the week, and I came in on Saturday, and there was a lot of young energy going on.
It might have been Lego Club.
It was Lego Club.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and you know what, it's funny, at first you go, oh, it's really noisy, and then you go, this is great.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If it wasn't noisy, then we'd
Yeah.
be worried.
Well, when you get kids at a young age, especially now as a children's librarian, and you plant that seed, you get, you know, at schools we used to talk about lifelong learners, and that's what you're creating here, is a lifelong learner, and I think that's so important. So
I couldn't do it without my staff, honestly.
it's great to see.
Yes,
Great to see.
I love it, and people, they come in and they're like, oh, we're gonna be quiet. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You know, don't yell, but you know.
Yeah.
No, please don't. We want you to feel like you're at home. And
You know, you see over the years, I remember going to libraries as a child with my mom, and libraries were like that. If you
Mhm.
walk in,
yeah.
yeah,
It's a library, so you gotta be quiet.
Yes.
You get your
And-
books, or when you were in high school, there was before the days of the internet, you used to come here for research.
Mm-hmm.
And when I hear people once in a while say, well, we have the internet, why do you need a library? But libraries have morphed into a
Oh,
community
yes.
center,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and it's great to see.
yep.
Certainly
And
is.
yesterday we had, because school was closed because of voting, so we had a midday movie. There was about 12 people here, you know?
Nice.
And it was a really brand new movie, so it was like, oh, it was good to see people here, you know, even though there wasn't school and so.
Yeah,
Good.
New faces also.
sure. And it makes for a community when people come
Mhm.
together, which is exactly what this is for.
Absolutely.
So good to you and the staff for the good work.
It's a good thing. Does anyone have anything else? Okay, future business. I have next meeting is Wednesday, April 10th at 12:30. Does Does that still work for everybody?
Mhm.
Sherry's good?
Yep.
Diane's good?
Mhm.
Dawn's good?
Yep.
Nancy's good? I'm sure Steve is good. I'll double check with
Okay.
him, and
Mhm.
so we'll make that, next meeting, Wednesday, April 10th at 12:30. If we have no other business, then we just need a motion.
Motion? Close.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. This
Oh, yeah,
March
yeah.
6th meeting
You did.
of
5
the
minutes.
Acushnet Public Library Board of Trustees is officially adjourned. It is 12:55. Thank you.